Welcome to The Wisdom of the East. In this video, we dive into the origins of Yoshukai Karate, its blend of traditional Chito-ryu techniques with modern combat principles, and Yamamoto's impact on the martial arts world. Discover how Yoshukai Karate promotes physical skill, mental discipline, and spiritual growth, and how Katsuo Yamamoto's teachings continue to influence martial artists around the globe. Whether you're a seasoned karateka or new to martial arts, this deep dive into Yamamoto's life and the philosophy behind Yoshukai Karate will inspire you. Katsuo Yamamoto, the founder of Yoshukai Karate, is a revered figure in the martial arts world. Born in 1938 in Kagoshima, Japan, Yamamoto began his martial arts journey under the tutelage of Dr. Tsuyoshi Chitose, the creator of Chito-ryu karate. Yamamoto excelled as a student, quickly rising through the ranks due to his dedication, discipline, and impressive skill. His deep understanding of karate's principles and his personal vision led him to develop a unique system, which would eventually become known as Yoshukai Karate. This new style combined the traditional techniques of Chito-ryu with innovative ideas focused on adaptability and practicality in real combat situations. Yoshukai Karate, officially founded in 1963, is rooted in the philosophy of constant improvement and self-mastery. Yoshukai translates to strive for excellence in association, reflecting Yamamoto's belief that karate is not only a means of physical defense but also a path to mental and spiritual growth. The style incorporates powerful strikes, blocks, and dynamic kicks, but it also emphasizes kata forms, kumite, sparring, and a strong ethical foundation. Students of Yoshukai Karate are encouraged to practice humility, perseverance, and respect, both inside and outside the dojo. One of the key aspects of Yoshukai Karate is its balance between traditional and modern elements. While Yamamoto retained the formalities and core techniques of Chito-ryu, he introduced more fluid, efficient movements suited for self-defense in a modern context. Yoshukai's training includes practical applications that focus on real-world scenarios, such as defending against armed and unarmed opponents. This adaptability has contributed to the style's global appeal, as it caters to both traditional martial artists and those looking for practical self-defense techniques. Throughout his life, Katsuo Yamamoto dedicated himself to spreading the art of Yoshukai Karate across the world. He established dojos in Japan, the United States, and several other countries, creating a global network of practitioners. His leadership, coupled with his remarkable skill as both a fighter and a teacher, earned him widespread respect. His influence continues today through the Yoshukai Karate International Federation, which upholds the standards and traditions set by Yamamoto while encouraging the evolution of the style. Yoshukai is a Japanese style of karate-do. The three kanji Japanese symbols that make up the word Yoshukai literally translate as training hall of continued improvement. However, the standardized English translation is striving for excellence. Yoshukai Karate has been featured in Black Belt magazine. Yoshukai Karate is a separate Japanese style from Chito-ryu, which still retains its strong Okinawan roots. Yoshukai is a newer derivative Japanese style. Origins of Yoshukai Karate. The body of fighting and self-defense techniques which became Japanese karate-do is thought to have originated about 1,000 years ago in India and spread from there to China, Okinawa, and finally to Japan in the early 1900s. Gichin Funakoshi and his son Gaigo, Yoshitaka Funakoshi, 1906 to 1945, founded Shotokan Karate. Shotokan is considered to be most responsible for the systemization and introduction of karate to Japan. Tsuyoshi Chitose was a school student of Funakoshi. Later, when he traveled to Japan, he assisted Funakoshi. Gichin Funakoshi asked Tsuyoshi Chitose to teach Masatoshi Nakayama, who became chief instructor of the Japanese Karate Association. Dr. Tsuyoshi Chitose developed Chito-ryu karate from a combination of Shorin-ryu and Shorei-ryu karate styles. After moving from Okinawa to Japan in 1922, Chitose began teaching karate in Kumamoto, Japan. He refined the Okinawan techniques based on his medical knowledge as a medical doctor and officially founded his own style of karate in 1946, in 1952 naming it Chito-ryu, meaning 1,000-year-old style. In the late 50s, Chito's top-ranking student and protege was Mamoru Yamamoto. Yamamoto adapted new fighting techniques and traditional weapons from Okinawa from Chito-ryu. After leaving the Chito Kai Federation in 1971, Yamamoto became founding a new style of karate known as Yoshukai. Bill Domitrick states the separation in his 2006 book, Karate, The Endless Quest, pages 230 to 234. In addition, interviews with Mike Foster, Mike Sadler, and others confirmed these stories. Mamoru Yamamoto, later called Katsuo, born July 10, 1938, dead February 12, 2017, began his formal training in the martial arts in Miyakinojo, Japan. He first studied judo, but began training in the Chito-ryu style of karate under Chito at the age of 15. In 1959, Yamamoto and his wife Sumiko opened their first dojo in Kita, Kyushu, Japan in the Fujitani Judo Club. In the early 1960s, Chito gave Yamamoto permission to start his own branch of Chito-ryu karate under the name of Yoshukin, and in 1963 Chito changed the third kanji of their branch's name from kan, meaning to stand alone, to kai, meaning association, indicating a potential for growth within the organization. During this early period, Yamamoto worked with Mas Oyama of Kyokushinkai Karate to develop the rules for Japanese full-contact sparring to replace the Sun Dome tournament rule of the time. Yamamoto was considered a tough fighter and top competitor in Japan and held the title of All Japan Karate Open Tournament champion from 1958 to 1960. Yamamoto represented Japanese karate at the Canadian International Exposition in 1967 and also demonstrated Yoshukai karate at the World's Fair in Japan in 1970. Yamamoto and some of his students, including Mike Foster, accompanied Chito on a promotional visit to Canada in 1967, where they conducted demonstrations, a clinic, and presided over the Canadian National Karate Association tournament. This trip was organized by Mas Tsuruka, widely recognized as the father of Canadian karate and later, the founder of Tsuruka-ryu. In 1971, Mamoru Yamamoto withdrew from the Japanese Chito Kai Karate Federation. Bill Domitrick was sent to speak with Mr. Yamamoto because he had elevated himself in authority and importance to the same level as Chito Sensei. No one had ever done that before. Chito Sensei had no Japanese students who would confront Yamamoto about his breach of etiquette, even on the telephone. Domitrick, 2006, page 230. Bill Domitrick met with Mr. Yamamoto and it was indicated that it was time for him to move on. In his departure, Yamamoto took with him the dojos established by his students in the United States. Mike Foster, born April 19, 1940, was an American serviceman stationed in 1957 at Ituzuka Air Force Base, Japan. Foster first studied judo and later karate with Hiroko Watanabe, a Goju-ryu instructor who taught at the Ituzuka Administration Annex Base Gym. Watanabe felt that Foster was a promising student and suggested that he study with Mamoru Yamamoto, who was then still affiliated with Tsuyoshi Chito's Chito-ryu. In 1964, Foster returned to Japan to test for second-degree black belt and spent 3 weeks training at Yamamoto's dojo. He then returned to Japan in September 1964 to live and train in Yamamoto's dojo for approximately 19 months. Foster returned to the U.S. in 1966 as fourth-degree black belt and became recognized as one of the top fighters in the USA. He was named the director of the USA Yoshukai Karate Association by Yamamoto, and in this capacity established and headed karate schools in the United States which became part of the U.S. Chito-ryu Karate Federation. He returned to Japan on other occasions to study for a total of 10 years under Yamamoto, during which time Yamamoto separated from the Chito-ryu Federation. Foster remained in the U.S. director position until 1980 when he stepped down and founded his own Yoshukai International Karate Association, YIK. In 1989, after a lawsuit, Mike Sadler was awarded the right to use the name. Hence, Mike Foster could use Yoshukai International Karate Association. Foster opened his first dojo in the U.S. in the mid-60s at Tampa, Florida, and shortly afterward established the first of several Yoshukai karate schools associated with colleges and universities at St. Leo College, Florida. From Tampa he moved to Orlando, Florida, where he kept a dojo during the early 70s. During the late 70s and 80s, Foster maintained a dojo in Daytona, Florida. In the early 90s, he relocated to Titusville, Florida, where he shared a Hanbo dojo headquarters for 7 years with Aikido Tom Walker. Foster continued to instruct senior grades at his Hanbo dojo in Titusville until 2008, when he retired from active teaching for health reasons. Yuki Kota, 1944 to 1997, arrived in the United States in the fall of 1969 from Fukuoka, Japan. Kota was an instructor what became Yoshukai, and was expected to assist with the establishment of Yoshukai schools in the U.S. He located in Florida to work within dojos established by Mike Foster, and in 1971 Kota and his American wife Gwen Lisk Kota opened their first dojo in Lincoln, Illinois. Yoshukai became official 1973. Kota affiliated with the new USA Yoshukai style under Mamoru Yamamoto, and Mike Foster continued to assist with establishing and developing schools in the United States. With the assistance of Yoshukai black belt Rayburn Nichols, he moved his family to Birmingham, Alabama, and named his organization Mid-South Yoshukai. In 1978, Yuki Kota assumed the USA director position vacated by Mike Foster and renamed the Mid-South Yoshukai to the US Yoshukai Karate Association, USYKA. In 1982, the Kota family moved to Texas, and in 1987 to Montgomery, Alabama, where Kota set up a Hanbo dojo headquarters. In 1997, Kota died from pancreatic and liver cancer, and his eldest son, David Yuki Kota, took over the directorship duties of the US Yoshukai Karate Association. Mike Sadler spent his youth in Japan studying Shotokan karate and judo at the Kodokan. He met Yamamoto and later became third in rank and command of Katsuo Yamamoto's US Yoshukai organization, after Yamamoto and Kota. Sadler was responsible for establishing Yoshukai karate in Alabama and promoted hundreds of black belts during his decades with Yamamoto. He is the founder of Shingoha Yoshukai, which focuses on stances, distances, angular movements, striking arts, joint taking, and throwing. Kumite. The Yoshukai fighting style, known for its full-contact kumite, was adapted by Mamoru Yamamoto and Mike Foster from traditional Chito-ryu to meet the demands of tournament competitions in the 1960s and 1970s. Yoshukai stood out for its emphasis on not retreating during movements, using primarily forward, side, and natural stances. Outside Japan, the style was adjusted for Western practitioners, who generally have longer legs and a higher center of gravity. Although it is a full-contact style, students also practice light to medium contact sparring to develop control and strategy. In 1977, Mike Foster founded Yoshukai International, further adapting the style for practitioners in the US and Europe, with modifications to stances and techniques. Foster, who trained with Yamamoto for 10 years, brought the system to the United States in 1966. He parted ways with Yamamoto's organization in 1977 to form his own association, while Yuki Kota established the US Yoshukai Karate Association. Foster, a renowned karate champion, continued his career as a respected referee and instructor, and his organization grew globally, with dojos in several countries. Yoshukai International used a belt system with few colors, reflecting the Kyu and Dan levels. Belt advancement required years of disciplined study and was decided by highly qualified judges. The organization's emblem held deep symbolism, such as Nin, representing patience, and the kanji Yoshukai, meaning Training Hall of Continuous Improvement. The organization grew significantly, reaching countries like Germany, Canada, South Africa, and Australia. In 2008, a new organization called Yoshukai Karate International was formed after management philosophy differences between Foster and Yoshukai International's testing board. The new organization maintained a board of 11 senior instructors and continued its activities as a non-profit organization. Notable members included figures like Michael McClernand and Robert Bush, along with other high-ranking instructors. The US Yoshukai Karate Association, led by David Kota, Yuki Kota's son, focused on the southern US. David took over the leadership after his father's death, and the organization expanded rapidly. In parallel, the World Yoshukai Karate Kabuto organization was created by Hiroaki Toyama and Mike Culbreth at Yamamoto's request in 2000, directly managed by the Japanese headquarters. With offices in Florida and Alabama, the organization also grew in the US, with over 1,000 members across 30 branches. In conclusion, Katsuo Yamamoto's legacy through Yoshukai Karate has not only preserved the traditions of martial arts but also pushed the boundaries of innovation. His forward-thinking approach to full-contact sparring, combined with the rigorous foundation of Chito-ryu, has created a dynamic and respected karate style. The continued growth and influence of Yoshukai Karate, both in Japan and internationally, reflect Yamamoto's vision and passion for teaching martial arts as a path to personal and physical excellence. The values of discipline, perseverance, and improvement remain at the heart of Yoshukai, guiding countless students who carry on Yamamoto's teachings. His contributions to the karate world have shaped modern tournament fighting, and his influence can be seen in dojos across the globe. As we move forward, Yoshukai Karate stands as a powerful example of the balance between tradition and adaptation, honoring the past while embracing the future. Thank you for exploring the life and impact of Katsuo Yamamoto and the Yoshukai Karate style. Don't forget to subscribe, share and like. Stay tuned for more details on martial arts legends and the ways their philosophies continue to inspire the world of karate today.